Detective John had been investigating a series of murders that had been happening for the past few months. Every victim was found with their throats slit, and no clues were left behind. The killer seemed to be a ghost, and the people in the town were scared. One day, as Detective John was walking back to his car after a long day of investigating, he felt a presence behind him. He turned around and saw a shadow lurking behind him. He reached for his gun but realized he had left it in his car. The shadow began to move towards him, and John could feel his heart racing. Just as the shadow was about to attack him, a bright light shone on it, revealing a man in a black hoodie. The man started to run, but John chased after him. The chase was intense, and John knew he was closing in on the killer. The man in the hoodie ran into a dark alley, and John followed him. As he turned the corner, he saw the man's silhouette against the wall. The man turned around, and John was face to face with the killer. The killer was a man in his late 30s with a scar across his face. He had a sinister grin on his face, and John knew he was the one responsible for the murders. The man pulled out a knife, and John knew he had to act fast. John lunged at the killer, but he was quick to dodge. The two engaged in a fight, and John managed to disarm the killer. He handcuffed him and called for backup. As the killer was taken away, John felt relieved that he had finally caught the murderer. But he also felt haunted by the shadow that had been following him. He couldn't shake off the feeling that the killer's shadow would stay with him forever. From that day on, John never forgot the feeling of being followed by a shadow. He became more cautious and aware of his surroundings, always looking over his shoulder. The killer was behind bars, but John knew he would never forget the terror of the killer's shadow. The moral of this story is that danger can be lurking around every corner, and it is important to always be prepared and aware of your surroundings. Even the most experienced and skilled individuals can be caught off guard, and it is important to stay vigilant in order to protect yourself and others. Additionally, the story highlights the importance of facing your fears and persevering in the face of adversity, even when it seems like there is no hope. Detective John's bravery and determination ultimately led to the capture of the killer and the resolution of the town's fears.